Hey fellow Cobra Kai fans, welcome to the video. If you just finished watching Season 6, Part 3, and didn't quite understand how it all wrapped up, don't worry, you're in the right place. This is Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 3, Ending Explained. We're breaking down everything, from the first episodes to the final moments, so you can fully grasp how this legendary journey came to an end. Let's dive in. Part 3 kicks off with a dark twist. Kim shocks everyone by killing her grandfather and taking over his dojo. This brutal move comes after he tells her that she still needs to prove herself worthy of his legacy. Meanwhile, before all that chaos, Kreese drops a bombshell. He's retiring from karate for good. He also reveals that he never signed the other Cobra Kai members for the tournament, officially cutting ties with Master Kim's dojo. Kreese also visits Tori and admits his mistakes as her sensei. He then reveals that when he registered Cobra Kai for the tournament, he only signed her as the dojo's sole representative.
You're the last of the Cobra Kai.
But you signed off on the tournament.
So you could fight. So you could be the champion.
Kreese then goes one step further and apologizes to Johnny for all the damage he's caused in the past. But unlike Tori, Johnny isn't ready to forgive him. Before all the apologies, Tori and Sam have finally put their rivalry behind them. They may be in different dojos, but they're no longer enemies. Instead, they share a common opponent, Zara. Now, they train together, proving that their past grudges are long gone. Meanwhile, Roby and Miguel are closer than ever. In a surprising twist, Miguel takes on the role of Sensei and starts training Roby, channeling Johnny's teaching style.
Numbers are for pussies. All that matters is whether or not you want to win.
Roby versus Axel, a brutal showdown.
Ice!
Roby steps onto the mat to face Axel, but as expected, the Iron Dragon King is even stronger than before. Roby takes a relentless beating, kicks flying left and right, and he's on the verge of giving up. Roby starts scoring points, catching Axel and his team off guard. For the first time, Iron Dragon looks shaken, but the Iron Dragon senseis won't let Axel lose that easily. Sensing danger, they instruct him to unleash his most brutal techniques. Axel obeys, landing a devastating blow that seriously injures Roby, forcing him out of the fight. Unable to continue, Roby doesn't return to the mat, leaving Axel as the last standing fighter in his division. With Roby out, Iron Dragon surges ahead in points, putting Miyagi-Do at a massive disadvantage. At this point, their chances of winning are slim to none. Realizing that she can't turn things around for her team, Sam makes a tough decision. She quits. This leaves only Tori and Zara in the women's competition, raising the stakes even higher. Meanwhile, Cobra Kai faces its own crisis. Tori is their only fighter left, and they're being asked to present a replacement for Quan to fight Axel. As Terry Silver and his team start celebrating, convinced that Axel has no opponent left, Kreese steps in and makes a move that changes Cobra Kai's history forever. Kreese apologizes to Johnny once again. But this time, it's different. They share a genuine, emotional moment, finally reconciling after years of bad blood. To make things right, Kreese does something unthinkable. He offers Johnny a place on the Cobra Kai team. And who fills that spot? None other than Miguel. The game-changing announcement. When the officials announce that Miguel is replacing Quan, the smug smiles on Terry Silver and his team vanish instantly. Their overconfidence crumbles as they realize that Cobra Kai isn't finished just yet. Now, Cobra Kai has two warriors left, Miguel and Tori, and they don't just walk in, they make an entrance. As Thunderstruck blares through the speakers, Miguel and Tori step onto the mat in what is, without a doubt, the most legendary entrance in Cobra Kai history. And Terry? Terry was well and truly thunderstruck. Tori versus Zara, the ultimate showdown. Finally, Tori steps onto the mat to face Zara, the one opponent who has been looming over her like a shadow. Zara isn't just strong. She's mentally ruthless, using psychological warfare to get inside Tori's head. She throws insult after insult, filling Tori with doubt and throwing off her game. For a moment, it looks like Zara has the upper hand, but then Roby steps in with some words of encouragement and seals it with a kiss.
I love you, Tori.
That's all Tori needs. With her fire reignited, she snaps back into badass mode and goes on the attack. And in true Tori Nichols fashion, she doesn't just win, she dominates. With a brutal, perfectly executed kick, she knocks Zara's teeth out, leaving the once intimidating fighter completely stunned. And just like that, Tori takes the win, becoming the Sekai Taikai Girls champion. Miguel versus Axel, the ultimate battle. The final showdown begins as Miguel faces off against Axel, the reigning powerhouse of Iron Dragon. But in a shocking twist, Miguel absolutely dominates in the first half, scoring 5 points to 0 and beating the crap out of Axel. But why? Turns out, Axel's mind is completely distracted after witnessing Miguel kiss Sam before the fight. His emotions get the best of him, and he can't focus, allowing Miguel to run circles around him. After the break, however, Axel snaps back into the fight, now fully motivated and laser-focused. In an aggressive counterattack, he obliterates Miguel, racking up 15 points to Miguel's 5. Miguel starts losing confidence, shaken by the sudden turn of events. That's when Johnny steps in. With one last push, Johnny tells Miguel to dig deep and use every trick he's ever learned. Miguel unleashes his full potential. Miguel channels both Johnny and LaRusso's teachings, blending their styles perfectly. And just when it seems like Axel still has the upper hand, Miguel turns the tide with a legendary finishing move. He delivers a kick so devastating, it sends Axel flying like a rag doll. And with that, Miguel wins the Sekai Taikai Boys tournament. The final showdown, Sensei versus Sensei. Just as Cobra Kai is about to celebrate their double victory, the officials drop a bombshell. It's a tie. Iron Dragon and Cobra Kai are deadlocked at 180 points. And in order to decide the grand champion, there's only one way: a sensei battle. The rules are simple. Each dojo's sensei must fight. Whoever wins takes home the championship. Johnny versus Wolf, the fight of a lifetime. On Cobra Kai's side, we have Sensei Johnny Lawrence. On Iron Dragon's side, it's Sensei Wolf. Terry's desperation, a dark plan. In his desperation to secure the championship win, Terry Silver takes drastic measures. He's not going to let Johnny Lawrence win, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to force him to back out of the tournament. Terry's plan is simple: send a threat to Carmen, Johnny's girlfriend, to get him to quit. He arranges to have someone intimidate her, hoping that Johnny will fold under pressure. But Kreese, who has been quietly observing, has other plans. Kreese versus Terry, the final confrontation. Kreese gets wind of Terry's plot, and he decides to step in before things go too far.
So whatever it is that you got planned, it ain't gonna happen.
The reason for Terry's desperation. To understand Terry's actions, you need to know what he's been hiding. Terry Silver has been told by his doctors that he has only 6 months to live. This news has turned him into a man with nothing left to lose. He wants to die with a victory to his name, even if it means taking everyone else down with him. Meanwhile, Kreese doesn't fear death. He's made peace with his fate and has accepted that his past actions have consequences. He's come to terms with what's happened in his life, unlike Terry, who's still driven by resentment and bitterness. The violent fight. The tension between the two explodes into a violent brawl. Terry overpowers Kreese, delivering a brutal beating. But just as Terry is about to strangle Kreese to death, something unexpected happens. Kreese's final act of revenge. As Terry tries to finish Kreese off, Kreese manages to struggle free and in a final act of defiance gets a cigarette. He's determined to go down swinging, and as the cigarette falls, it ignites the boat, setting it on fire. The fire quickly spreads, engulfing them both. The two enemies, locked in a battle that symbolizes their entire rivalry, are consumed by the flames and their lives end in the same way, burned to ashes. The final battle, Johnny versus Sensei Wolf. After his loss in 1984 to LaRusso, this is the universe giving Johnny Lawrence a second chance at winning. With that in mind, he steps into the ring for his toughest fight yet. The fight is set to be a brutal one, with the first fighter to score 3 points crowned the champion. Sensei Wolf wastes no time asserting his dominance on the mat, quickly scoring the first 2 points and leaving Johnny on the ropes. In the final moments of the match, Johnny channels everything he's learned from both Kreese and Daniel LaRusso. With a well-executed strike, he takes Sensei Wolf by surprise and scores the winning point. Johnny has done it. He's won the Sekai Taikai Championship. In the aftermath, Johnny is back to being fully Cobra Kai, running his own dojo, now more popular than ever. He has a lot of new students, but the old ones are back too, including Kenny. LaRusso continues to run Miyagi-Do, and their fantastic friendship leads to Johnny allowing LaRusso to teach his students Miyagi-Do techniques, while Johnny teaches Cobra Kai's new, more balanced approach. Johnny has learned how dangerous the old ways were and is ready to embrace a positive change. Miguel gets accepted into Stanford to continue his studies, and Sam heads off to a school in Okinawa, Japan. Tori and Roby become celebrities, signing with a branding company that promises them good salaries so they no longer need to worry about finances. Hawk is accepted into Caltech, and Dimitri, choosing to stay close to his binary brother, cancels his MIT plans and applies to Caltech, where he gets accepted as well. Hawk is thrilled. Johnny and Carmen buy a house, and now they have a happy, stable family. Chosen reunites with Kim at her dojo. They seem ready to resume their romance, while also training her students together. In the end, all the good characters get what they deserve, and the bad ones, Kreese and Terry, meet their ends. With their departures, a new Cobra Kai is born, one that doesn't harm students, but teaches them to grow with strength and respect.